Okay, hey, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. We are not streaming. Okay, I think we got problems, y'all. Hey, what's happening?
Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It's Friday night, so it must be Friday Night Live on YouTube.
Hey, what's up? It's indeed not Friday night. It is Saturday Night Live. This seems to be going to be the new how we're going to do this. I don't think I'm going to be able to make these Friday night recordings. So this is probably going to be the new normal. I don't know what's going on with my streaming right now. But anyway, we're going to start recording. So welcome to my channel. Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It is Friday night, so we definitely are live on YouTube somewhere, somehow. We are streaming, but I don't know what's happening on my channel. I should just stop it and go back, but I think not because I like to keep it live. All right, anyway, so, well, my name is, I'm Calvin, or CPJR if you know me. I am, or the Melancholy Guy if you feel me. This is Transparent Conversations, as I said before, Elevated Exchanges. This is episode 12.79. That's episode 12, 79 days. If you want to know, well, if you know, you know. And if you want to know, just ask me. That's what I meant to say. Just ask me about 12.79. So guess what? We are elevated tonight, and we are elevated the same as we were before. Yep. Liberty. Grow West. They got this is 7.0. It's on sale for 35. 7.0 35, but it is definitely like that. Okay, so let's continue on. So last week we talked about trauma bonding, right? Because of the situation that we have in my family. Nothing's changed on that situation. I asked about it today because if I don't ask, I probably won't know about it. But no, and nothing's really changed. I guess it's a complicated situation at this point, right? Like what's gonna happen? I don't know how things return to normal, and I don't know what happens or upcoming family outings. That's totally changed. That whole dynamic's changed. But so even with that though, when I was thinking about what I want to continue talking about, even in that vein, it's like relationships. Relationships are like important, right? I don't know, they could change your entire life, and you could change it for the better. Or it could change it for the worse. If you choose right, if you choose correct. But then even my whole thing is this, and I've been thinking about this a lot, right? I don't know where I'm at. I'm going to the subject matter already, but I've been thinking about this a lot as far as like the trauma bond thing, like why you stay. You see that big thing, that big light? Sorry, I'm seeing some lights I didn't turn off. So seeing the excuse me one second. So seeing the just what's happening out here in this whole thing with all these relationships, and now even like right now today, how for the majority of it we see. I know that we probably are a lot of relationships that we see are doing very well, right? But I think that even from my experience, it's like when you first get involved with other people, you just don't know how to be, with other people. Like we don't really talk about it. We talk about it in a way that is we talk about it in a way that everything is normalized. Like one size fits all, and then as you get into relationships, you find out that's not true, right? You may just want different, obviously, or may not be really cut out for the same thing that everyone else has done, but then that's all we know. So we just go through it, and then we have these weird outcomes most of the time, and then we just keep on trying it. You know what I'm saying? Like some really bad, dangerous outcomes, but we just keep doing the same thing. So that's what I'm just talking about. I'm like, there's a reason, there's a reason for that. Like, why do we do it? And I'm not like, I'm not an expert at all on anything, right? I'm not an expert at anything. Absolutely nothing. I work in IT. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I work in IT, been married a couple of times and been in a lot of relationships. What am I doing? Elevated. Okay, so what we talking about? So we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about. I would say we were talking about trauma bonds, and I want to continue go back to what we were talking about, which is ethical non-monogamy. We were talking about. We were moving from like, just the openness of it when you first figure out that you don't want to live traditionally. Maybe, I don't know, something's not right, something's not working. Oh, if something's not working, work on yourself first, and then think of what you're gonna do next. But maybe you've always thought that monogamy was just weird. Like that's like I always thought. So I moved in that direction as I was trying to find a way to actually be in relationships, because they were just not working for me. They were not working for me because I didn't know what I wanted. And I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted, and I did not know how to react when people may become a little excited about what they wanted. It wasn't forced. They're not forced. I guess, you know what? I was just thinking about that today, right? But this whole arguments things. But I'm gonna go back for a second. We're gonna pick it up. No, we're gonna go right there. Yeah, I was thinking about these arguments thing today because I was thinking about what I said before, and I thought about when I first start having an argument with somebody who I was with, because before I don't think I ever dealt with that before that, and that was me in my 20s. This was like after college. This was my first relationship leading up to my first marriage. And then the argument hit me off guard because I didn't understand, like, what are we arguing about? Because you're telling me you don't like me, right? And I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, you don't like me. So that's what I'm saying. If we're in an argument, right, and we're not married, I don't even care. This is before I knew what a marriage was, even thought about it. But if we're arguing about it or something, right, and then we continue to argue about it, but then we don't really have a conclusion or we don't have an outcome, like who won or lost, or someone's making changes. We have, like, if you were at work, you would have like what do they call those things? There's something you would have. You would have deliverables. You would have, you know what I mean? Like, on this date you need to do this. Okay, I've agreed to change this. Things like that, right? And then that's what you would do. Then you would go and do that, right? If you had an argument with, let's say, a coworker who wanted to do something differently, y'all would come to the office, discuss it. Because I've had some of these things I had to discuss, some heated exchanges sometimes. And we would come in, and then a boss or a manager, a director at one point, would come in and listen to everything that what everyone's saying, understand the conflict, and then come up with a resolution. And we would all agree to that's the resolution. So then, if at any time during that process, if I decided that, we're not doing that, then I would have a choice to either say that, okay, I'm no longer working here. So I would leave, because I can't. I've decided that what's happening over there is no longer serving me, so I would leave. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand at that point, if you're in a relationship with someone and then you're not able to come to some kind of agreement as to how you want to live, what happens? Right? Violence. Is it violence? Because if you keep repeating, you know what I'm saying? It may not be physical violence. Maybe it's just mental violence. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's no resolution, what do you do? So that's what I mean. I didn't understand arguments. So I went through a long time of not understanding a lot of things, like just walking around like I don't understand what's going on. Why is this going on? And then you try to change to make it okay. I'm talking about trauma bonds right now, but I don't want to go into that, right? But so anyway, so you start changing and you try to placate things and make things. This is now, I'm not talking about, this is no physical violence on either part, but then it becomes mental, right? Because if I told you, like I've said before, that if I decide, like if you give me a rule, right? If we decide to live on the rules, like we used to live on the rules, like you can't talk to such and such, and you can't go anywhere with so and so, right? Automatically, for me, I'm gonna start lying, right? Because that's just. But I'm telling you the truth, right? You're gonna start lying too, but you're not gonna admit the truth. You're gonna say you're gonna do your best to live under those you're gonna do your best to live under those rules, right? But why do you have to have rules? If you don't want to do something, you're just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or if you do want to do something, you're gonna do it. But if you have to live under rules, but from somebody else, they're trying to control you. Why are you allowing somebody else to control you, or why does somebody else feel the need to exert control over you? You see what I'm saying? All right, so the reason I'm asking these questions is because the subject for the conversation tonight is the philosophy of ethical non-monogamy. Because I was trying to think of, like, before, when I was saying about how I'm more attracted to Buddhism, you know, if I had to levitate or just swear allegiance to some religion, we'll be talking about designing our own, it would be Buddhism because it's more of a philosophy or how to live. Like, I can understand. They're not saying like there's no miraculous thing about where we came from or what we're praying to. It's more about the state of being, right? And how you manage that state of being, that consciousness that we have. Because we're not unconscious, we think, right? Because we're going through an ideological battle in this country, basically, because there's some strange people who have some dangerous things they want to do, right? And there's some other dumb people who want to believe, I don't know what they want, just want to be led, right? So if you could get those people that want to do some things to actually trick the other people thinking what they want to do is what they want to do, but they actually want to do some worse things, that's what we got. We got a bunch of idiots trying to run around doing things, thinking they're going to get their little pet evil plan to get through, but they got to work together. But it doesn't all work together, right? Only thing works together is y'all first commandment. Y'all, I keep telling you, I'm going to keep saying this, right? The greatest commandment is love, right? That's the key, but we can't do that. But y'all don't want to do that because y'all stuck on all the other pages. All right, let me stop. All right, I'm sorry. I went to church today with my family. I didn't go to church. I went to help clean the church. So I was in there. So that just got me talking to them crazy. All right, so let's go through the check-in. So I'm okay. Yeah, I'm still, I still looking for a new opportunity, permanent position. Got affected by this whole thing going on, which is weird. Keep saying that, but to know is true. And then it's just like coming out like what I wasn't affected. I wasn't like if you just seeing from the first time, I wasn't a government worker. I was getting ready to get on a government contract that hit a contract change and a hiring freeze, and then the job I was getting ready to start on just left. And then now, if you're out here in the labor market, it's a lot more people out here, so everything's just a lot more competitive. So it's been a lot longer than I thought it would be, but it's been very interesting to go through this process. Now I am like I said, I am interviewing, but it's just like I am like at the point now, at a certain point, it seems like you do get kind of like, I don't know, just like not really desperate because I found a little few ways to make money, but you get kind of like restless because it's like I have plans, right? And then going through, but maybe I don't know, maybe I need to go through this time. This is still a check-in. Maybe I need to go through this time because I need to really like understand myself because I did suffer like really. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about my addiction, my recovery. Basically, when I say 76 days, that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm talking about. So I did do my like first day of real temptation on Friday, I think. Where did I go out? Yeah, I was out Friday doing some things. I was coming back home. It just hit my first time. I'm like, wow, it just stopped me. I guess the only thing that really kind of stopped me is because of the process I'm going through and what I'm doing. Like doing this podcast really just stopped me. Because it wasn't, I don't really know if anyone's watching this or anybody cares about this, but I do, right? It's like my thing. It's like what I do. Like even the drops and everything I do, I cut. I come here and I think about it. The script that I don't ever really follow. It is something I do, and I'm always thinking about what I'm going to talk about next, right? And that's what really like just standing there, just like in the middle of what am I getting ready to like really like stuck. But then it's just like, okay, well, that just changes my whole entire trajectory. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know when, you know, the storm is going to break, of course, right? But I don't know when it's going to break, but I got to be ready for it when it does. And I'd rather be ready for it now in the state that I'm in now, today, going forward, than if I was to walk backwards. You know what I'm saying? So it just hit me. It was a very interesting it's interesting to go. And then I thought about, well, am I going to talk about that? You know what I mean? Like I almost, you know. So yeah, I said, you know what? I got to talk about it. But at the time, I also have to realize and be honest about at the time, I kind of thought it would be nice to have somebody call and talk to, which I don't. Not about, I don't know what I would be talking about, like whatever I'm getting ready to do. Because I went ahead and did exactly what I was supposed to do. That's why I'm saying right here. Friday night, I was overdid, knocked out. Talked with my sister and boyfriend about, you know, just outside kicking it. We were taking a walk among the trees and just kicking it. And then it just really felt good to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I need to step it up around here, be on point, which is what I'm doing. So it's always good to be on point because I forgot I was supposed to go with them this morning to work on the church. All right, so let's keep this going. So what I was talking about earlier, I'm going to get to the conversation. Yeah, I guess, yeah, everything's good. I'm going to fix the check-in. So that's the check-in. I'm good. Still doing what I need to be doing. Still focused. Still waiting on my break. Waiting on a couple of responses, but we on point. Nothing, not going backwards, basically. Not going backwards. Making adjustments as I need to make, you know what I'm saying, as I'm out and about, because I hadn't been out and about in a while, so now I'm out and about. So just making adjustments as I need to make. And it does matter what I'm thinking about, though. I'm gonna say that. It does matter what I'm thinking about. If I'm being hard on myself, if I'm losing, like if you get to a point where sometimes you're sad, trying to lose hope, because it's been been a minute for, or not even thinking about that, thinking about what you want to do and you're not able to do, right? That could be a point of contention. So you just think about what you're going to do and what you're getting ready to do right now, today, right? Stay in the moment. And that's why I say about the philosophy of life, and that's like a Buddhist thing, living in the moment, right? How are you right now, right? So that's why I was thinking about the ethic. Like, I was thinking about when I was talking about ethical non-monogamy and being open, about, it's just when I'm talking about basically being open, just being open to opportunity, being open to who you are. Right. And I'm trying to think how that philosophy of going through my life, how, you know, when I came out of Christianity and gravitated toward the philosophy of Buddhism or the Buddhist thought, you know what I'm saying, that way of thinking, that philosophy, how it just flowed into ethical non-monogamy. And then I was thinking about, I learned a lot about ethical non-monogamy and how to live in that environment, in that community, but I never really think about the philosophy of ethical non-monogamy. Like, what was it in it, the way that we live? Why is it different? Like, why would I not want to ever promise anyone monogamy? When chances are at this age and at this big age, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at in life, monogamy is probably about the best I could do. I never believe that, but it probably is realistically. If I be very realistic based on my trajectory, and what I got on going on right now, it may be that may be it based on just the time that I have and what I need to accomplish. There's there's a couple young ladies who I owe a lot to, who they've ever asked me, I might have to just give everything up and just give it to them. You know what I mean? Like, that's true, because I wasn't there for them. So that's a possibility. So what I'm saying is, I think we're going to take a break. We're going to play a special message because tomorrow's Father's Day. I do have a Father's Day message I just want to play out. I'm going to do this separately too, but I thought I'd just put it right here in the middle. Just happy Father's Day to my father. And here's a special message. Happy Father's Day. Hey, how's it going? This your boy CPJR from the Transparent Conversations podcast. Just want to wish my father, Calvin Pierce Sr., a happy Father's Day. And to all the fathers out there, enjoy your day. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I could be corny. I'm corny. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go also play the Food of the Thought. Food for thought. Play the Food of Thought video before we go ahead and go into the message. This is like a church. This is just sounding more and more like a call, right? Like a little church.
What is disturbing you about your life the most from the last week? You can even extend it to what is it? Which emotional state is it that followed you primarily in the last 1 month? Is it somebody who triggers it? Is it something that triggers it? Boil it down to the point that you actually see, this is what blocks me right now in my life. I want to move into the future, but this year it follows me, it blocks me, it takes my energy. I can literally see it. No, that is the one. Now invest all of the energy to figure out the solution for this one. Because if you took care of this already the last half year, the chances are very, very high you're going to have it the next half year. And if you do nothing about it, it's going to be 2 years. And it's going to be 3 years. And in 3 years, you still sit there and complain that you were not able to move on. Yes, because it's the same pattern and it is the same hindrance still in the life.
So that's 2020 right there. That's been 2020 and everything been happening since. That's exactly where I'm at. That's where I've been at. And that's so funny that when I started this podcast, I think about the fact that I'll be 59 and my birthday was in April. So my time lines up with that. So since the age of 59, that's what I'll be able to say for the rest of my story. That this is at the age of 59, this will happen and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully that'll be episode number 2,368 by that time. But yeah, that video is definitely true because I'm in the same place. Everything when I think about my past, right? No matter what, it's probably should be no good in it, but there is some good in it. Some good thoughts that I have, but there's always that black cloud, right? Like when was the last time or what was going on, before or after that good memory, because it's always like been there, right there. It's always been like right there. So that's a food for thought. So that's why I wanted to, now we're gonna move on. We're gonna ask you please to like, share, subscribe. If you like this, if you don't like this, I don't really, this is just for me. This is my spiritual practice. It brings me back to zero. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. If you like, of course, everyone would like to have a well-received podcast or blog or whatever you call this thing. So this is my little baby. All right, so back to that. I think we have one more video. So what I wanted to say is there is philosophies of life, right? There's philosophies of, if you think that everyone should be monogamous because of religion, that's religion. I can't really talk against that. That's your belief, right? But no, there's no one religion. That's the only thing that we as non-religious people keep having to say. Like, okay, that's fine. Be religious. Be your religious, but don't make it. We don't want to be your religious. That's all I keep saying. Like that's the message we keep coming back to, right? And I know y'all talking about y'all dollars and all this kind of stuff, but it's a melting pot, man. When you put the money in the pot got to go to everybody. So you can't be mad Cause y'all use my money for stuff I don't want to pay for. Why do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't get mad. It's in the pot, right? We all supposed to be here for helping each other. Remember, what's the greatest commandment, people? That's what I'm gonna say to any Christian. What's the greatest commandment? What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about because you're supposed to be following the greatest commandment. That's all three religions, right? But I know, I don't recognize taking the New Testament. That's Jesus. All right, but I'm still gonna say that because all I'm supposed to be about that. But I don't know. I think it's probably I probably line up more with Judaism. I don't know. If I was to sit there, if I had to choose one, it probably would be that one. But I don't know. That's only because of I ain't really studied it, but it seems to be like if I had to choose one of the book, because it seems to be you can argue a lot, and they may not believe all the craziness. All right, so what am I talking about? Right. So what I was saying is the philosophy. So that's what I'm saying. There's a philosophy. There had to be a philosophy that most of us that are in ethical non-monogamy, right? Because we always seem to go to the same thing. And then, since we're going from the NSA, more loose side of ethical non-monogamy, under the thing I showed you before, how you have some looser is known as NSA sex or sex focused, or maybe BDSM, kind of sexual, but maybe not sexual, but still there may be other relationships that are entwined, and it's alt also. So it's really about community, and all community sticks together. And then you move more to relationships like polyamory, polygamy. But polyamory is kind of different. I don't really loop in or think when I think of ethical non-monogamy, I don't think of polygamy at all, right? The reason I don't think of polygamy at all is because of where it came from, right? And what it means. You know what I'm saying? I believe that it probably does have its place, but it's still based on it's not based on the philosophy that I'm getting ready to talk about, right? It's still based on fidelity, ownership, and things like that. Any polygamy. I don't know polyandry. I mean, I'm sorry, it's the other one. Polygyny, polyandry. I don't know. The one that women are the multiple, the bottom, the top, whatever. All right, so I got so this philosophy I'm getting ready to tell you about is one of the people. I'm gonna play another video. Dan Savage is one of the people who I started watching or listening to his podcast. When this first, this little transition started, this is right around when I was married. We first got married. I just started listening to Dan Savage. It only came from Dan Savage had a bad rap in the pro-black community because some of his comments. But if you listen to him long enough, he will come back and correct himself. And that's the one thing I always say about anybody. If they can genuinely correct themselves, like I do sometimes, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not, because that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what the arguing thing came. Why am I arguing with you? I'm not going to change. I have to change myself. That's what's important. So you are asking me to change. It may not work because I may not want to change. So you have to change your address. Okay, so the video. Yeah. So it's about monogamish. That's a term that he coined. So Dan Savage.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to rethink love and commitment. 60 years ago was when we decided that men had to be monogamous too. Men were not monogamous for all of recorded human history. Men had concubines and whores. And 60 years ago, straight relationships began to become more egalitarian, and it was less of a property transaction. A marriage had been a property transaction for most of recorded human history, and it became a union of two equals. And at that moment, instead of deciding to allow women to have the same sort of freedom and leeway that men did, we decided to let men have the same limitations, impose the same limitations that women had, and we put monogamous sexual commitment at the heart of all relationships, all long-term commitments, all marriages, and we have watched. We should now be able to recognize the consequences of that, which are a lot of short-term relationships, a lot of divorce, because monogamy is ridiculous, and people aren't any good at it. They're not wired for it. We didn't evolve to be. It's not natural, and it places a tremendous strain on our marriages and our long-term commitments to expect them to be effortlessly monogamous. Because what we've said is, if you're in love, you won't want to have sex with anybody else. And what we need to tell people is that if you're in love, you can make a monogamous commitment and you will refrain from having sex with other people, but you will still desperately want to fuck the shit out of other people. But people understand love means I don't want to fuck other people because of these misconceptions pumped into people's heads about romance and love and what it means. And so they meet somebody else that they're attracted to, and they're attracted to this other person. They go, well, I must not be in love with my partner anymore, otherwise I wouldn't be attracted to this person. Or they feel threatened when their partners are attracted to other people, as if, it makes them feel insecure. And we just need to get past that. And we talk about monogamy the way we talk about virginity, that you're monogamous until you fuck somebody else, and then you ruined it. You popped your monogamy hymen and destroyed your monogamous relationship. We need to talk about monogamy the way we talk about sobriety, which you can be monogamous and fall off the wagon and then sober back up. You can monogamous back up and get back on the wagon. And the truth of the matter is that if you're with somebody for 40, 50 years and they only cheated on you a few times, they were good at being monogamous, not bad at being monogamous. They were good at it. So I do think there needs to be some leeway. And a lot of really good, loving relationships are destroyed because somebody wants a little variety or isn't getting a need met and feels they have to step out, and it explodes the relationship. I'm conservative. I think that we should do what we can to preserve marriages and long-term relationships. And one way to do that is to encourage people to have more realistic attitudes about sexual exclusivity.
They have like threesomes. Monogamish. So that's what I mean. Like, so in order to come out of it, of monogamy, because there's a philosophy I'm going to do the philosophy of monogamy on Thursday, I think, unless something happened. If you were trying to stream this, I apologize. I don't know what happened. It's streaming somewhere. I was trying to do a timing on it, so obviously I can't even find it. But it says it's streaming somewhere. Anyway, so it'll be posted, of course. So I just want to talk about some philosophy, some philosophical points of ethical monogamy. So think about if these resonate with you. Like, if you have a problem with your relationship, right? No, don't say that. All right, I'm not a relationship counselor at all. I'm not talking about. I don't have advice for relationship other than my only advice to anyone who's in a relationship is always the same. Why are you arguing? If you arguing, leave. What the hell, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that philosophy of that to end a relationship is to not, the relationship wasn't successful. That's up to you if your relationship was successful or not. If it ends, it ended. Did you get something from it? That's basically what I'm saying. I was thinking about my relationship successful with my second ex-wife. I think she's happy. So yeah, I think it was successful. I only wanted her to be happy. She was happy. So I guess, yeah, it was successful. I'm not dead, so obviously she did something right too. So I guess it was successful to get me to here. It was successful. It was successful. Thank you. That's cool. So that's what I mean. Like the philosophy. Like, I don't know. Like, when I say successful with her, I'm like, that whole process of opening the relationship up was very successful. It was very good. It definitely opened my mind up. And that was a long time ago. If anybody else looking at this, that might not be her now. I don't know. But for me, it definitely changed me and allowed me to get here. So that was the right person at the right time for the right relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I wish it could have been better for me. All right. So, some philosophical bedrocks for somebody. If you have these, I'm not gonna say if somebody ethical non-monogamy. Maybe just for relationships, for, you know what I'm saying, a conscious relationship. Think about it. As a foundation, consent is the foundation for relationships, right? Enthusiastic consent, everything that you're doing, right? You're seeking, or you want to have enthusiastic consent for what you're doing. What I'm saying is the understanding that a no is not always universal, right? The understanding that everything that someone gives you is not, they're not obligated to give you. They're giving it to you out of their love, who they are, their freedom, right? They're sharing their love with you. They're sharing their love with you. It's not yours. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're married to somebody, you don't, you know what I'm saying? So you always are seeking consent, right? As a foundation. There's no, and then I think with that, with knowing that you have an open relationship or open door policy to consent, like always being able to talk about it and understanding that you're able to take away consent and talk about it for whatever reason, it's an environment. I can't say most people don't have those type of environments. I don't know. But anyway, for me, it was great to be able to talk about whatever, and then definitely to be able to give or take away consent all the time, and understand that consent is more important than obligation. Excuse me. That consent is more important than obligation, right? I don't ever want to have any type of relationship or dealings, whatever, because you feel like you're obligated to do that, right? Never do in any situation. And I've been in a lot of crazy situations. I never want to do that. So consent is the bedrock, or the basis, or the foundation of relationships. And then another principle, philosophy and principles, Another one would be radical honesty and transparency. Radical honesty. See what I'm saying? So in order to have radical honesty, you have to have an environment of radical openness, right? A radical acceptance. Right? Radical love. Because I think love is actually just acceptance, right? I just accept you for who you are. Right? Now, if I accepted who you are, to mean that you'd have access to me, because I love me more than anything else. And I may love you, but maybe distance is more important. Maybe distance is what's going to make this relationship sparkle. You know what I mean? But I need you to understand that too. Maybe you don't. We maybe have to discuss it in different ways. But you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Love everyone, but don't give everyone access. And in that radical, when I'm saying about that radical honesty, is when we talk about the boundaries a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you will not have in trauma bonds. You will not have boundaries. You will not be able to say, look, who I talk to at work is my business. You know what I'm saying? You don't even like, I say that as in a joking way, because you shouldn't have to say it at all. Well, it's just a ridiculous conversation. You know what I mean? And what it is if you make that known, you're just gonna make somebody lie, right? Because somebody's gonna go to work every day and never have a relationship with no male, and like they're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Let's say the relationship that you give to them is so wonderful that they didn't have anything to have a relationship with anyone else. That could be the case. That could be the case. It's probably not the case. But it could be the case. I don't know. Maybe everybody out here is having these wonderful relationships, and I'm just lost. I'm lost. But I'm not here to help relationships. I'm saying that there are alternatives, right, to just being unhappy. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason to try. That's the only thing. That's the only advice I can give anyone on relationships. Why the hell are you sitting around unhappy with somebody else sitting right there next to you? You know what I'm saying? Get that away from you. Why is that hard? If you're scared, I'm telling you, if you're scared, you might as well go through it now, because it ain't gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna disappear. So yeah, setting boundaries, expressing needs, and being able to talk about what you really need. Like you really need that plug, but so you could actually say that. You know what I'm saying? What you really need and what's not working for you, or what will work for you. You know what I'm saying? You need a clown every Thursday. You could say that. You can say every Thursday. I don't need the clown actually to come in. You know what I'm saying? But to make sure it's not paid, none of this stuff, none of this sex work stuff, none of these Diddy parties, right? But I'm just saying though, maybe you just need a picture of a clown, you know what I'm saying, or a clown dummy, whatever you need. Like we're gonna work it out, we're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not weird. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be happy too. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that conversation. It's open. I could express my needs, you can express your needs, and we could talk about it and figure it out. Maybe we won't have that because I'm scared of clowns. Actually, I'm not scared of clowns, but I'm saying though, we didn't have that talk, and then you know, I mean, like the whole argument thing, I never understood it. Now I'm now that I'm older, I understand exactly what I'm saying and what I was trying to say then. But it wasn't being received, and it wasn't my job to make it be received. My job is to just say, oh, okay, I cannot live under these conditions, therefore I must depart. Have a nice life. But which I did a couple of times, but didn't say it correctly. I apologize. I'm learning. And then I did hold out. So another principle. So what we have consent as a foundation. Do you believe in consent? A lot of y'all don't. Y'all believe in obligation, not consent. Consent as a foundation, radical honesty and transparency. That's done for a lot of people. That's it. We can't make the first two. So the opposite of these is what monogamy is, right? Right? If you don't have these pillars of your philosophy on relationships, then you may just be monogamous. I don't know. I can't wait to do monogamy now. I cannot wait because I haven't done it yet. I haven't. Actually, no, it's a lot. I have pulled it up. I'm using Gemini for AI, so I have pulled it up. So I don't check the sources on these because if it feels right to me, it's probably right. I mean, I probably would say the exact same things. If I was sitting around with a group of ethical non-monogamous people, we would come up with the same things. Or very close to it. Probably not the same language, but yeah. So I'm not accepting what AI tells me. I'm just agreeing with this was definitely would come up. It's the same things that we talk about on a regular basis. Autonomy and individual freedom. So everybody hear the story of how I said, or the story that I say about, not the story that I say, not the story that I say, but the story when I say about my polyamory, how I treat relationship, or my boundaries on that. I don't have to know where you are. You are free to do whatever you want to do. Commitment does not mean control, right? Commitment means that I honor my agreements to you. Same thing, back and forth, right? That's commitment to me. That we both honor our agreements to each other. I don't own all your time. I don't own all your attention. I don't own your mind, every thought. So if you have to, you know what I'm saying? There's a song I want to play. But if you have to go out and do you, just chasing my ass, I think. I'll find it. So, yeah, if you got to go out and do what you need to do for yourself for a while, just go out and do it. Just let me know you're going to be okay. I'm not, you don't have to tell me exactly what it is. I don't have to know. And there was something else I was thinking about. There was a story I was thinking about. Oh, it's about the whole thing about when you meet people, the whole agreement thing about if you fall in a relationship, if you go into a relationship, the kind of relationship that I'm talking about is when two real polyamorous, ethical non-monogamous, mature people, probably my age range, anyway, the whole thing, been through a lot of relationships, I understand exactly what you're doing. The whole thing about you need to notify, there's a rule or something that a lot of us probably had, or it's just right in there or put in there because we don't know any better. But you have to tell somebody when you meet somebody new, right? If you start meeting, let's say, if you go and you or your partner, you're at lunch or whatever, walking down the street, and you just meet that other person. You know what I'm saying? You know, your people. I don't believe in your people. I believe in, I don't believe in your person. I believe you have your people. So you see another person, that's yours, right? But you don't want to say nothing. Excuse me, sorry. But you don't want to say nothing because you don't want to jinx it, or you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, or give the person, because you already know. You know what I'm saying? This person just met her. You already know that it's gonna change everything, because that's what relationships should be, right? They should be changing. And if you meet another person, you already know that this is gonna change everything, right? Because your relationship, remember, this is for real polyamorous people, right? But you still don't want to say anything. You don't want to have to be made to say anything to your partner yet, because you may be jinxed, may be wrong. Right, so you may just let the relationship go on. Then they have you get to other things, like I need to know when you do the first kiss or the first date. Like I only know, you say I'm going out, you going out. Okay, have fun. Now, as your partner, I know something's gonna be different about you, because that energy, I'm gonna recognize that energy, right? Because we have the same energy. I'm gonna recognize you have it more, and it's not coming from me, because this is brand new, that NRE from somebody else. Right? So as your partner, as the other mature polyamorous partner in a relationship with you, I'm going to be like, okay, I already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you probably met somebody new. I'm happy for you. It's called compersion. I'm happy for you, right? But you don't got to tell me nothing. I'm just happy for you. I'm just going to sit back and wait and just watch you. And then I'm going to still get to benefit from that energy coming off you, right? That's how it works. That's how it works. That's why I value or my own autonomy, but I also value their autonomy and individual freedom too, to do whatever is right for them, because I trust them to do what's right for me. It's just a vulnerability that you, because you don't worry about the control, because the rules is why you need the control. You need the rules in place because you desire control. You desire to you know what I mean? Like this, yeah, to do this thing, you got to understand that change is inevitable, right? But you want to make it, you kind of got to want it to be beneficial, right? You don't want to be the same. You hopefully don't want to be the same person your whole entire life. Most of y'all do. Most of y'all don't even think about it. You know, it's just today. Right? Today. And that's why I'm glad I'm off the drugs. Because it's not about today. I mean, it is about today, but it's about today, but also about where you're going. You know what I mean? Like, are you doing everything? What you did yesterday, is it beneficial for tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Is today, you know what I'm saying, still having you going on the wrong way? And that's what I'm saying. When I was in that position, I'm like, man, it's gonna just change everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this. You know what I'm saying? And what was scary, those anxiety wasn't there as it should have been. But then I think the anxiety wasn't there because I already knew I wasn't doing that dumb shit. Hey, I would say praise the Lord, but praise the Calvin. The nigga doing what he gotta do. All right, all right. So where are we? Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, we elevate the throat. I might got water, right? Yeah, I do have water. Sorry. What? I recognize that. It's my past slave master. That wasn't a slave master. That was a good job. All right, so what are we doing? Oh yeah, so individual autonomy. So love as abundant, not finite, right? Because you only have. All right, here's the thing, right? If you're monogamous, that person over there, that's it. That person is it, and that person dies, that's it, right? That's what we're told. That's not true, because love is abundant. Love is not finite. That's what we believe. That's what we're taught. But that's fine if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what everybody wants. That's what everyone believes. I don't believe that, right? I don't believe in like the soulmate. There's no way I could believe that. I I've had too many friends that were lovers to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole like still friends, still break up, still friends. Like I don't know what's wrong with y'all people that break up and enemies with every one of your. You know what I'm saying? Your people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that whatever happened, it didn't work out, but it was still significant for me. Anyway, right? It's all a part of me, so I gotta take the good with the bad, and sometimes I talk about the worst, but I don't mean nothing bad about it because I was young and I never understood what the argument thing. I never understood arguments. That's a crazy thing, man. Leave me alone. This one is like different. Challenging mononormativity. Challenging mononormativity. Right? Why are you telling me? Then that's religion, right? I don't know if you believe that or because of religion. There was a gap in my religion upbringing. Thank God for that. That mononormativity wasn't. Remember I told you I had one relationship broke up and that was it. That's not true. I had two. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had two. Yeah, I did really. Some of y'all might think I had more, but I had two defined relationships. I forgot about twins. Not twins. One was a twin. I forgot about that one, and that one was I'm thinking for a second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of a word for it. Interesting. And then there was one. That wasn't a girlfriend. There was a friend. That's what I was talking about. This was one of my people, but wasn't one of my girlfriends. I have more of those than girlfriends. Situations. So I'm gonna say my people. So yeah, the second girlfriend was either one of my girlfriends. Oh shit! That was just when you smoke. I'm shouldn't smoke. Don't smoke. Okay, so yeah, but is it either one of my girlfriends my people? Cause I'm rude. I'm sorry. I might have to cut that out. I probably won't. I've never cut anything out. But I have the ability to. I think I did cut something out before. I did. I'm not cutting this out. This is terrible though. I might have to cut this out. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm trying to think now. Because now I'm mixing up relationships. Like some of the stuff I'm talking about, I remember actually talking about with some other people. So redefining fidelity. That's basically the same thing as challenging mononormativity. And then there's personal growth and self-awareness, which is something that we talk about all the time, right? So what we're saying is, if you think about those right there, those are principles, right? And ever thought about incorporating those into your philosophy? And you might be not monogamy. I think it was for me more. Some of it was definitely, the freaky shit. But then a lot of it was actually the philosophy of trying to figure out how to live. And it's the more and more I move in that direction, I'm grateful to the universe for some of those people popping up and being in my life. It was priceless. And then I'm sorry for times that other people popped in my life, and I may have been rude. But we may have had some fun together too, I guess. Is that possible? I don't know. So I'm really anxious to compare. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. But I do definitely want to think about. I'm anxious to talk about next week to roll this on too. Hopefully nothing happens. I don't think nothing will. Everything's pretty, everything is not cookie cutter because a lot of stuff happening. I'm just, a lot of stuff's happening. I normally don't deal with much of stuff anyway. I'm dealing with my own stuff, but right now I'm not. So then I learn about other things that are happening, and I'm like, okay, I'd rather not deal with that. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, but next week, if nothing else comes up, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the philosophy of monogamy next week because I want to compare the two. I'm interested now because I do have it. I just didn't want to do it in the same night because I'm up to an hour now, and that's too long. So next week we'll be talking about that. I don't have anything funny to talk about. But next week, we're gonna leave it right there. But next week we're gonna talk about we're gonna do the ethics of monogamy, and I'm gonna see why I don't like that. Why I don't jive with it. I don't begrudge it from anyone else. Rock your what is it say? What do you want to say? I don't know. But let your feet fly. I know that one. You want to rock it till the balls fall out? I don't know. But that's it. I'm out. So I press the right button.
All right, people. We out. Choose love every time.
Every time.
And things will work out. All right.
Maybe.
Peace. See you next week.
Peace. Love you.